Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. In this YouTube video, we're going to create this product flyer. All right, so we're going to start from scratch and we're going to build this flyer together. So let's go to a new design page. And first, what we'll do is we'll add our image of the shoe to our design page. So I'll go to upload and I'll upload my product image, which is the shoe. And what I'll do is I'll just flip it horizontally like so. Once I've done that, I'm gonna go to elements and then I'll add a rectangle. Once I've added my rectangle, I'm just gonna turn down the corner rounding to 0 so that my corner could be a bit sharper. Then I'll increase the size of the rectangle like this. All right, I'll try to ensure that it aligns with the edge of the shoes, like right here. So I'll just drag it to the left a bit like so, and I'll drag it to the right a bit like so. And once I'm happy with that size, I'll just change the color of this rectangle. So I'll select the rectangle and I'll change the color. I'll change it to this dark gray or kind of like black right here. And what I'll do next is I'll add my text box. So I'll add a text box and then I'll change the text inside to super. So I'll put super in uppercase letters like so. And then what I'll do is I'll change the font style like so, and I'll change it to Anton. So now my font style is changed to Anton. I'll also change the font color. So let's just highlight our font, our text, and then we'll change the text color to white like so. Just increase the size a bit. My size at the moment is at 181, so I'll just position it in the center of the design like so. I'll just nudge it down a bit with my arrow tool on my keyboard. So I'm happy with this for now. I'll just highlight both elements, which is the text and the rectangle. Then I'll go to position and I'll ensure that it's in the center. So it's in the center and I'm happy with that for now. What I'll do next is I'll just duplicate these two elements. So I'll just duplicate these two elements like so, and I'll drag it down below the two elements at the top and ensure that they aligned. All right, so I want them to align vertically like so, and then I'll release it like so, and I'm happy with that. Next, I'm going to change the text that is in this text box. So it's going to read sale. So it's going to read super sale when you read both text. I'm just going to shift the text down a bit to fit in the center of the rectangle. Next, what I'll do is I'll move the shoe, the image of the shoe, to the front. All right, so I'll go to select our image and then I'll go to position. Next, what I'll do is go to layers and I'll drag the image of the shoe to the front of the design like so. So I'm happy with that. Next, what I'll do is I'll just drag the shoe down a little bit so that it could reveal the text a bit like so. All right, and I'm happy with that. Also, what I'll do is I'll highlight all my elements and I'll nudge it up a bit like so. All right, so I'm happy with this for now. Right, so once we've done that, what I'll do is I'll select this rectangle right here. I'll duplicate it. So let's just undo that. Let's just duplicate the rectangle like so. And I'll resize it to make it a bit smaller and longer like so. So I'm going to change the color of this rectangle to yellow. So I'll select this yellow and I'll double click on the yellow up at the shape colors right here, because I'm going to make this yellow a bit darker. So I'll just drag this to the right so to make it a bit darker, and now I'm happy with that. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to place it to the top right here, and I'll just resize it like so. All right, just like so. And we're going to duplicate the text box that says super, and I'm going to change the color to black. All right, so we're gonna change it to this dark gray color instead of the black. So I'm happy with that for now. What we're gonna type is we're gonna type special offer. So type special offer. I'm just gonna reduce the size of this text. Just reduce the size to, yes, so about 42, and we're gonna place our text on the rectangle. All right, I'll just increase the size a bit, just like so that it could fit into the rectangle shape. So I'm happy with this. All right, we'll just align it inside. All right, so I'm happy with that. Just nudge this down a bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight both the rectangle and the text. So I'll highlight both elements and I'll just rotate it just a little bit to maybe about -3 degrees, like so. And then I'll just group it and I'll just drag it to the center of the design page, like so. Next thing I want to do is I want to select the rectangle. So I'll just go to position and I'll select the rectangle in our position or layers panel. And then what I'll do is I'll go to effects and I'll add a drop shadow to it. Now we've added that drop shadow, I'm happy. So I'll add a circle to my design. So I'll just go to elements, I'll add a circle shape, and then I'll resize the shape like so, and I'll place it right here where both boxes have a space in the middle. I'll place it right here. Next, what I'll do is I'll add a text box. So I'll add a text box and then I'll just increase it like so. I'm gonna add 50% to the text box, like so. This is gonna be our offer. I'm gonna change it, the font style to antenna as well, like so. And I'll change the color to the dark gray, like so. And I'm happy with that. So I'll place this on our circle right here. And I'm happy with that for now. Let me just zoom in a bit so that I can ensure that I'm seeing clearly. And I'm happy with this right here. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate the text box and I'm gonna type off. So it's gonna be 50% off. I'm just gonna reduce the size of the off text like so, and I'm gonna center it to the 50% right here, like so. All right, so I'm happy with both of these. I think I can just increase the size of them a bit. So I'll just increase the size of both of them a bit, like so, and ensure that they're centered in the circle shape. All right, so I'm happy with this for now. So let's just zoom back out. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add like a shadow to this shoe. So what you're gonna do is select the shoe and then you're gonna duplicate it. So you're gonna duplicate the shoe like so. So we have two shoe image. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to edit and then we're gonna go to filters, then we're gonna go to dual tones, and then we're gonna change the highlights and the shadows to black. So we're gonna turn our image to black like so. Once we've done that, we're gonna go to edit and then we're gonna add a blur like so, and then we're gonna click on whole image and then we're gonna increase the intensity to about 80%. Now I'm happy with this so far. So we're gonna place it over our shoe like this, just in the way that we will want the shadow to be behind our shoe. So once we have it in a position that we like, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna just go to position, then we're gonna drag it down. We're gonna drag the layer down behind the shoe. All right, so it's the realistic shoe and not the black shoe, and we're gonna decrease the transparency of it so that it looks a bit more softer, like so. Let's leave it at 60%. All right, so I'm happy with this for now. I'm happy with 60% for now. So I'm just gonna lock this image. Let's lock both of them like so. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this text box right here so that I could use it below here. I'm going to type in description. All right, let's just reduce the size and change the font color as well. And I'm going to put it in uppercase as well, like so. So let's just reduce the font size. All right, so let's just drag this up, and we're gonna just reduce the font size some more. Yes, so I think I'm happy with this font size for now. Let's just go a bit smaller, like so. I'm happy with this for now, so I'm just gonna ensure that it's in the center of the design page, like so. Once we've done that, I'm just gonna add a little text right here. Of course, this is just a filler text, so this is just filler text right here, just to fill the spot. Of course, if you're doing your own design, you could put in your own description that you would like to describe your product with. Next, what we'll do is we'll just decrease the size of this just a bit, like so. All right, let's just ensure that we have everything line up a bit, like so. Yeah, so I'm happy with that for now. Let's just nudge that a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a rectangle. Just go to elements, add a rectangle, and I'm going to drag the rectangle to the bottom of the design page, like so. And I'm going to drag it to cover the bottom of the design page, like so. I'm going to change the color. I'll change the color to the dark gray, like so. And then we could put a call to action at the bottom right here. But first, let's add a rectangle to the design page again. This time we're going to leave it in yellow, and we're going to resize it like so. I'm going to place it just a bit to the left like this, in the center of the rectangle at the bottom, like so. Just nudge it a bit, and we're going to add a text to it. We're just going to add order now. All right, so we're going to just add order now, just to increase the size of the text a bit, just like so. And we're going to ensure that it's in the center of our design, our rectangle shape. All right, so I'm happy with this for now. All right, I'm happy with this for now, like so. Next, what we could do is we could add our social media right here. All right, so if we go to elements, we can just type in Instagram icon. Once we have Instagram icon, we can see our graphics. We could start adding our Instagram icon. Maybe we have a Facebook page as well. We could type in Facebook icon, and then we could add our Facebook icon to the design. Okay, so I'm just looking for a circular one. Let's see this one. Nope. Let's just see this one. Yep, so this one is good. And then we could add maybe a Twitter. All right, so let's just change the color of them to yellow, or we could change it to white if we wanted to, but let's just change it to white for now. All right, so I'm going to change all of them to white. All right, so I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to position. I'm going to select all of them so that I could resize them together. So once I resize them together, they should be the same size because we want to have a balance. All right, let's just resize them some more, like so. All right, so now we could just align them to the side right here, like so. All right, let's just select 3 of them, and then we could go to arrange, and then we could click on middle, and now they're aligned. Let's just align them with the rectangle to the left, like so. All right, so I'm happy with that. So if we want now, we could just add our social media handle to the right here. Change this color to white, and then we just type our handle. So let's just say at at y shoe underscore. Yeah, so that could be our Instagram handle, and we'll just resize that and ensure that we align it with our Instagram and our other social media icons. All right, so once we have that aligned, all right, let's just lock the box at the back. We could just ensure that we align it to the right. Let's just do the right alignment right here for now, like this. Let's just make this text box a bit smaller, like so. Let's just reposition it right so, and then we could just position it like so. All right, so I'm just trying to get equal space on each side, so I think I like this for now. So that's good for now. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna just add our logo right here. So you could just duplicate this text box and you could just add your logo right there. Just double click this, and then we're gonna change the color to the dark gray as well. And then we're just gonna type your logo. So your logo right here. Let's just left align it. All right, so I'm happy with that. All right, so this is our design. Of course, you could make your own tweak to it, but this is just a quick design that you could do for any product that you have, and you could promote it. So if you have like a drink or any type of product that you have, a bag or something, you could just add it right here and change up the information, of course. All right, so this is the method that I follow. All right, so I create different designs and I have a 6-step framework. So the framework is the create method. All right, it's basically 6 steps that you could use to actually create your design, and you could create them according to your brand so that your work look consistent. All right, so if you're promoting your business, you could use the create method to create your designs and look well branded. All right, also I have a free brand starter kit where you could create your brand kit or your brand guide, so you have all of your colors, your fonts, and everything in one place that you could use, and that's for free. So you could pick up the free brand kit below, and if you want to get the premium create the method framework that I use to do my designs, you could also get that in the link below as well. So I'm looking forward to see you guys in the next video, and I hope that you have a good time designing this product flyer in Canva.